And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Tea Time with Tia for Geek Vibes Nation. If I seem a little frazzled, it is because I've actually already done this video. And I know that plenty of YouTubers have trouble sometimes with their videos having to record and re-record, and that is certainly where I'm at right now. I actually about 10 minutes ago did a Tea Time with Tia for Hanna season 2, their latest trailer, and I used, let me try not breaking the house while I'm at it, but I used a mic, which I don't often use, but I have used it in the past. But when I used it just now and I tried to rewatch it, you couldn't hear anything. It just sounded staticky and so hopefully now that I'm using these, it will be better because I've never had a problem with these. So let's hope this one goes well. Funny story, I kind of said this in my last video, but it reminds me even more now. So my grandparents, who are in their 80s, don't have a computer. They are not very tech savvy, even though my grandmother has learned the computer, and she does technically have a smartphone. I say that because it is literally just a touchscreen phone. It really isn't any name brand. It's just for, it's free. So they don't see my videos that I post. But yesterday when I posted my Tea Time with Tia for Tia for Netflix's Cursed series that's coming up, my mom was at my grandparents just as it had posted. So my mom's like, here, see what Tia does on the internet. And my grandma watched it and she was like, oh, Tia, you did so well. Not trying to be narcissistic. That's just what she said. Grandparents are like that. But the two things that she said was, one, you need to smile more. And two, stop using your hands. But I said, Grandma, we're Italian. Of course, I'm going to use my hands. And smiling may not be the number one thing I can do right now, just because I'm a little frustrated that the other video didn't save. But it's perfectly fine. Hopefully I will do this one better, and hopefully everything will be better. So, okay. Anyway, Hanna season 1 came out last year. I reviewed it. I gave it a pretty good score, even though it reminded me a lot of 2017's Logan, even though the Amazon Prime series is based on the 2011 movie. It did give me a lot of Logan vibes, but I regardless liked the first season, which you can find all 8 episodes on Amazon Prime. And that starred Muriel Enos, Joel Kinnaman, and Esme Creed Miles. I was mostly drawn to this show because of Joel Kinnaman. I'm a big fan of his, even though it's relatively difficult being a fan of his because it seems like every show he's in the first season, and then they don't bring him back for the second season. They did that in Altered Carbon, and they're doing that here because, spoiler alert, Joel Kinnaman's character got killed off in the first season of Hanna. Another big draw for me was that Hanna reunited Joel Kinnaman and Muriel Enos, who both acted in the show The Killing, where they played partners. But in Hanna season 1, they definitely weren't partners. They were nemesises. Joel Kinnaman played Eric, who was essentially the father of Hanna, played by Esme Creed Miles, where you find later on in the season, well, you knew, I believe you relatively knew, Hanna didn't know that Eric was not her biological father, but was the person who raised her since birth in the forest for 15 years because technically Hanna was part of a covert ops shadow organization that were going to be training little assassin girls, but then decided to terminate the program, essentially terminating the children. So Eric, he became close with Hanna's mom, decided that he didn't want that, and in the process, Hanna's mother was killed. So for Hanna's safety, he took her to the forest and raised her for 15 years. Now, you can imagine if you were raised in a forest forest for 15 years without any sort of interaction other than with your father, that you would be a little socially awkward too. Eric certainly taught her a lot, such as survival skills, fighting, and a shit ton of languages, geography, etc., but could not teach her social skills. And then something happens in the beginning of Hanna season 1 that causes Hanna to go off into the world, and now Eric has to face all of the people who were after him 15 years prior, including Muriel Enos's Miranda. So that's pretty much what season 1 entailed. It was a lot of Hanna getting used to the world. Obviously, this is not something that she was privy to. And even though she was a young teenager, she did not have the traits of a normal teenager because she didn't grow up as a normal teenager. So there was a lot of that. She was very socially awkward. I think also it had to do with the actress, Esme, who is a relatively new actress. I'm happy to say that in the trailer for season 2, it looked like she definitely honed her acting skills a little more. And it looks like Hanna is I don't know if you guys heard all that horn honking, but it's not a good day for videos apparently. But anyway, the trailer that they just released looks like Hanna has a little bit more of a realistic grasp of society and the world. She's not as much of a little caged animal as she seemed to be in the first season. In the first season, it looked like she was really trying to run from this organization, avoid being captured. But we find out in season 1 that the program was not terminated. There's all these other young female assassins living in a compound being trained as essentially sleeper spies who can be the switch can be flipped at any second and they're going to kill someone, as described by Dermot Mulroney's character, John. Oh God, what was his name? Carmichael. John Carmichael. He explains that in the trailer for season 2, but Hanna looks like she has now infiltrated the Hanna has seemed like she's infiltrated this group, and as Kelly, one of my associates, said, we were talking about this off air. She said that it looks like that's what Hannah's going to do. She's going to try and destroy this group from the inside out. She's got a new do, which is blonde, and her fighting skills seem a lot sharper. Her, her interactions seem a lot more human-like as opposed to season 1. And it's interesting, all these girls who are in this compound, they don't seem as robotic as you may seem, or as you may think that they would. They do definitely seem to have some of a social skill, but also kind of naive to what their training is. At some point, Hanna explains to one of them that they're being trained to be killers, which I don't know how they don't know that, because if you were in a compound being taught every day how to pretty much snap people's necks, I would assume that, but that's all they know. So they're just believing whatever is told to them. And Hanna has had enough of that. She made it very clear in season 1 that she does not like lies, because Eric was lying to her whole life about the origins of who her real father was. So no more lies for Hanna. She does not like that. And I think that's what she especially doesn't like about this program, is essentially all these girls are being lied to and they don't know the truth. But there definitely seems to be this like family dynamic between all the girls, because at some point one of the girls says to Hanna, "Oh, is it true that you were taken from us as a child?" Hanna says yes, and the girl says, "Well, you're here now, you're back with your family." So that's going to be really interesting. I'm curious, because there was one girl who was helping Hanna in season 1, and we see her again in season 2, at least in the trailer. So will she become an ally of Hanna? Are they both going to take on this system together? I'm not exactly sure. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm really trying to smile. But what I'm trying to say is, what I'm leading to, which I'm trying to remember all the things I said in the former video before it messed up. But So Muriel Enos's character in season 1 played Miranda, who was pretty much the opposition of Hanna and Eric. But I have a feeling at some point in season 2, she's going to turn on the government and the association which she was fighting for in order to help Anna. Now, it was never established that Miranda and Eric had a romantic relationship, but they definitely have a past of some sort. And Miranda kind of seemingly cared for Hanna in a way, I think because she cared for Eric. And it also seemed like at some points Miranda was trying to kind of domesticate herself. She got a new boo who had a child. She was trying to be a stepmother, and she kept her life away from the new man. So it almost seems like to me, based on the trailer, because Miranda looks beat up at some point, she's looking like the fight is very rough. I really do have an internal feeling that she is going to turn against them and be Hanna's ally, albeit I think Miranda's probably going to die as well. I don't know anything. I haven't seen the season yet, although I would love a screener Amazon Prime. But I just have this feeling. I have this feeling that, not in the beginning of the series, maybe a little later in season 2, she's going to turn, she's going to help Anna, and is probably going to suffer the same fate that Eric did. But it looks interesting. I liked season 1, as I just said, and season 2 makes it look like it's sharper. It learned from maybe some of the mistakes that it made in season 1. It looks cleaner, which is great, but also a little upsetting, because I wish that the season with Joel Kinnaman was like aces. Like, if I had to give season 1 a rating out of 5, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5, which is not bad. That's not shitting on the first season. As I said, I liked it. It could have been better, though. So season 2 looks like it definitely is cleaner. As much as I'm like, oh, Miranda, you were such a bitch, it's going to be interesting seeing her still alive in season 2, where her story fits in with Hanna. If Eric's death is kind of going to be maybe a catalyst for Miranda, have Hanna and Miranda team up with each other. As I said, Hanna seems a lot more mature in season 2, seems to have a lot more of a realistic grasp on everything than she did in season 1. And I like her fighting style more based on what we've seen. It looks like Dermot Mulroney's character, John Carmichael, is going to be one of the big bads that they're going to have to go against, if not say the big bad. I have to assume that because he was very present in the season 2 trailer and also the teaser trailer that we reviewed not too long ago, that it's going to be a lot of him in season 2. So that's going to be definitely interesting. I don't want to ramble on for too much longer, but I do want to say that if you have never watched Hanna season 1, I certainly suggest it. All 8 episodes are on Amazon Prime. The second season is coming back July 3rd, which in my previous review that I had to scrap, unfortunately, I said I got confused with July 17th is when Netflix's Cursed comes out. And I just wanted to mention that again, because that is a tea time that I did yesterday, and that certainly looked like a good show for you to check out. But Hanna, it's cool what they're doing. It was a movie that came out some odd years ago, again, 2011, I believe. And I never watched the movie, to be honest with you. So I really had no expectations walking into the TV series. I didn't want to sit there and compare the actors in the series to the actors in the movie. Perhaps I'll go back after season 2 to kind of see where the comparison is. If the movie touches upon what goes on in the second season, or if the movie was just solely the first season. I'm not exactly sure, but it's nice seeing a show where the main character is a new actress and you can tell that she's growing in front of you. I feel the same way kind of about Catherine Langford, who is going to be leading Cursed. I wasn't particularly a fan of 13 Reasons Why, but that was her first breakout performance, and from there she's been in Knives Out, and she is now again leading a new show, Cursed, on Netflix. So she is certainly growing, and if that can also happen to Esme Creed Miles, I think that her acting ability will only flourish, and therefore we will keep getting an improvement on her character in Hanna if it returns for a third season. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's gotten that green light yet, or if they're deciding to wait for the reception on season 2 to gauge whether or not they want to move forward with a third season, or if the story even goes in that direction. So I just have to say that based on what I see for season 2, I'm expecting it to be an improvement on season 1. I would say I would kind of hold out hope that maybe they'll do a flashback of Hanna and Eric, because, it skipped a lot of years. The first season, the first episode pretty much started with Eric, Joel Kinnaman's character, taking Hanna away from the facility, bringing her to the forest, and then pretty much we skipped 15 years later to, a teenage Hanna. So it would be really cool if we got some flashbacks. I'm not sure if that happens. I certainly didn't see any reports of whether or not Joel Kinnaman went and filmed any of that, so I'm not going to hold out hope. My hope has kind of been shattered many times. I'm being very dramatic. I say that because HBO Max's series Love Life, which I actually loved, I interviewed the creator Sam Boyd, and I know that's a flex there, but I'm happy that I did because that was a great interview. But what originally drew me to Love Life, which stars Anna Kendrick, was the idea that Scoot McNairy was going to play a recurring character throughout the series, when in reality he was just in the first 2 episodes. So I'm not going to hold out hope that Joel Kinnaman returns for even, say, a flashback in season 2. I will just accept it as it is and say that they apparently just like putting Joel Kinnaman in the starter seasons. But no, I mean, listen, he's both a movie and a TV actor. He doesn't need any help. He gets work. Although I will say, For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus, he was in the first season of that, and he is returning for the second season. So yay, Joel Kinnaman is returning for a second season of something. But either way, I like what I see so far in Hanna season 2. I'm excited. July 3rd is when it comes out, so make sure that you keep an eye on that. Certainly I'll be reviewing it, and I will let everyone know what I think of the series. And yeah, please let me know what you thought of Hanna season 1, and if season 2 entices you at all to check it out. You of course can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TiaFabi. And you can find us, Geek Vibes Nation, not only by, sorry guys, my phone. You can find us geekvibesnation.com. We have our links to all of our social media accounts there, which include Twitter, Facebook, Vero, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe here. And we have plenty of awesome content, awesome podcasts. Tonight we're doing a game show, which is cool. And if you go to our website under the entertainment tab, you'll see all of our podcasts, which include my top 10 that I do every Sunday, Geek Vibes Live, Skates to Throat, Wrestling Geeks Alliance, Scene and Nerd, They Call This a Movie, Stranger Damies, Marty and Kathy's Coffee Talk, and so many more. We're coming out with them all the time because we want to keep you all entertained and informed during this crazy time and beyond. So everyone, I did this in my last video, and I think that it is an important message. Let's all be kind to each other. Let's all love each other, because there's way too much craziness in this world to not do that. And I just hope that we brought some entertainment to you today by doing this. Oh, and also check out, we have plenty of interviews as well. So thank you very much. And if you're interested in participating with the Geek Vibes Nation, please reach out to us as well, because we're always looking for new voices. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day. let's end stream.